Here, people. I'm going live right now. Boom, we're live. I think. Oh. Wait a second. We're not live yet? What? This is crazy. Oh, wait, no, we are live. This is so interesting. I pressed live and it's 3 minutes beforehand, but I guess y'all can see it now. I don't know. I don't even know. So we'll see. And there's supposed to be a chat. Stage bot connect. Kickstarter hype TTRPG chat. No. Go to the chat on freaking the YouTube channel. Because there's not chat here. Move to audience. I don't want to go to audience. Allow requests. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. I'm integrating, just for so people know, I am integrating YouTube and Discord together for the first time. We're trying to do that right here. So there used to be a stage chat, Kickstarter hype, TTRPG chat, background promotion channel, meme channel, coach content. No. Stage. Wait a second. Yeah, the stage chat is hidden. Oh dear. Event channels. Voice channels, staff channels. Nope. Oh, but we got 20 people on YouTube too. We're doing a cross hybrid situation, guys. We're still 2 minutes away from launching here. T-minus 2 minutes. T-minus 2 minutes. What we're gonna do is I'm just gonna create a new dang channel. Right? We're gonna clone the channel. It's gonna be called Dungeon Chat. I'm going to create a brand new channel just for this. The Dungeon Chat. There you go. So Dungeon Chat. I'm going to get people in the Dungeon Chat. Okay, let me make it in the announcements. Oh, here we go. Link to stage. Link to chat room. Or stage. Hashtag Dungeon Chat. We got 1 minute and we're starting, and we're already going to start off with a bang. Everyone, I'm posting it now. Boom. Listen in. There's a button for it and everything. Oh, this is going great. Cool. I don't want to see myself though. That's always weird. So I'm going to check that, move that over here. There's the chat. There's the YouTube chat. Hype. Hey, let's go. You live? We're live. Woot, woot, woot. Crazy delay. Oh, there's a crazy delay between Discord and YouTube audio. Interesting. I never thought about that. I never thought about that. That's super interesting. You're going to have to choose one of the audios. That's really interesting. I am going to be doing this via Discord though. This is an experimentation here, guys. I'm doing an experiment. Discord, we're Discord partner server. There's lots of cool stuff that we get to do. So this is the stage platform, something we get to try out. So I'm doing this through Discord, but I also wanted to post or have this in video format so that y'all could see what the heck's going on. So I'm gonna have this video here, and then I'm gonna have the chat over here for the YouTube side of things. Because the only other thing that I'm trying to combine the best of both worlds over here is the same structure. We're doing the same structure where if you guys have questions on Discord, you can join the Discord stage chat, which is where I'm going to be hanging out right here. And wait, yeah, we're in there, right? Oh, there we go. Okay. We got 30 people in here. We got 31 people over here. So if you're not, links in the description, join Discord. Check out the shirt. Huh? Look at that. Discord sent me this shirt, so I'm wearing it. It's freaking cool. So I'm going to be in Discord, pulling in you guys, in Discord to be at chit chat with you guys and do a Q&A through, actually talking to everybody and having like guest callers, in this whole thing. And then we're calling it the Dungeon Chat, and we're going to bring in the dungeon callers. Why does DC just work so well for everything? Oh my gosh. So if you raise your hand in the Discord chat, we are 1 minute in now. So all the early people, raise your hand in Discord chat if you want to bring it. Whoa, how did that happen? That's interesting. Can people just do that? that would be a problem. People could just join in. What? Okay. Anyway, raise your hand if you want to jump in the thing, and then I'm going to bring you in, and we're going to answer some questions here. And for all the people on YouTube watching this, it's still going to be cool because you're going to be able to hear them, I think. Interesting. I don't know if you'll be able to hear them. So, I would say go in Discord. Oh, see, that's the problem, is the audio. That's the interesting part. So I have the YouTube, we'll see how this goes. One thing I might do is integrate through OBS and have, let me see if I can put my speaker here so that we can hear everybody. Interesting. There we go. So I don't know how the YouTube side of things is going to go for hearing everything. If not, I'm going to have to integrate it through my OBS situation. But hey, we're trying it out. And like I said, I am on Discord. So if y'all want to join in on Discord, cool. The YouTube's on the side of things. The only way, because this is a problem last time, and I'm going to do the same thing we do in the YouTube situation we have here, is if you want to super chat, then you can jump to the front of the line and make sure if you do super chat, you say your name, and then I can pull you in next. Other than that, we're going to go down the line. I got Bean, MCDO, DM Raven. We're going to go all the way through. Algo Farm. We're going to go all the way through, and I'm going to see, we're going to do this till about 10 o'clock. So I'm going to try and get through everybody, answer whatever questions you guys have. If y'all have questions about D&D, DMing, homebrewing, situations in your game that you're going through right now, Alcanner's Almanac, ooh, sneak peek stuff, I don't know, that'll be your questions. The thing is, excuse me, if try not to have it be a very, I don't want to have to take away a lot of time from everybody else to answer questions that are 15, back and forth and all this kind of stuff. So I'll do the best I can to answer your question the best I can in the scope of all of this. I've thought about in the future doing something where we can set up some type of maybe it's a patron reward tier, or maybe it's a thing that people can sign up for through, I don't know. But then bring people on to have more bigger issues that we tackle. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let's dive into it. So again, raise your hand if you have a question. I'll bring you in, and yeah, we'll get going. And once we wrap it up, I'll say peace, and we'll get out of here. So there's not an awkward goodbye. But without further ado, let's dive on through it. Cool. Here we go. First person up. First person up. We got Bean Durton. Bean is actually. Wait. Can I bring him in? Let's go. Bean is actually one of my street crew captain or street crew representatives. Always going out there trying to blast out all the stuff from all the videos. What's up, Bean? Oh, he left. The first guest call. Oh, he's back. What's up, dude?
What's up? I'll be the first experiment. Can everybody hear me on YouTube?
Ooh, this is a good question. I'm gonna go right now. Bean, you are the experiment right now. I'm going to the dungeon chat. Everyone, Bean, count to 5 or something, and tell me if y'all hear too much of an echo or something like that. Can you hear him?
Yeah, I hear chats that they can hear. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they say they can hear me.
And YouTube can hear, and the YouTube chat can hear. Maybe this is working out better than I had planned. Because I am not the most tech savvy person, says a apparent supposed YouTuber.
A YouTuber.
Yeah, I know, right? I chose oof. No echo. Wow, no echo. That's crazy. Wait, that's he good. Planned this? Anything? Okay, cool. All right, we're good then. Let's rock and roll. What's up, dude?
How you doing?
No, nothing much. Just hanging out and just a Discord live event. Yeah.
Cool. I'll kick you off with a question.
What you got?
I just ran session 0.
Oh, yes.
Starting a 12-week 1 to 5 Waterdeep Dragon Heist with heavy homebrew, but went through session 0 with just background information, setting expectations, some homebrew rules, rolling characters,
Yep.
and didn't play at all.
Right.
I wanted to build some suspense, but now I want to do what you do for flashbacks. Not
Yes.
quite a full level 0, but
Yeah.
I do want to run a couple scenes through people's backstories because they just all worked through their backstory together.
Right.
So where I'm at now is, how do you go about getting the best inspiration for pulling their background into certain scenes? So
Yeah.
I understand that like people you want to highlight the big things in their background, but I guess just, I don't know, where do you get all your inspiration for that?
Yeah. Love the question. Love it. Love it. Love it. There's so, and starting session 0. It's funny. This week I'm starting my session 0, first session 0 in a while from all the in-person, pandemic stuff. Everything's firing back up. So I'm super excited, and I'll be going through the same exact thing. So this is perfect. But when you do these flashbacks, it's also what you kind of got to ask yourself, what kind of tone you want to set, what kind of, what each character's and the player playing that character, what they're all about. So an example of what I'm talking about is there was one player in the group. I had this a session where there's one of the players was like super new, just big old goofball, like, clown type dude, and he wasn't like super serious hardcore D&D person, but he was just like to be funny, and like I knew that he would get enjoyment out of D&D from being funny. So every flashback of his, when his character was like a freaking kid, like a
Gotcha.
almost like an infant, like, and he got to role play himself as like a 3-year-old, and then he got a role play, and then we did somebody else, and then I came back to him, and then he got to role play himself as like an 8-year-old, and then I got to come back to him. So each time he was like doing mischievous stuff like his dragonborn rogue character would do, and he just kind of over time, and then there's a little mini scene where he met his one of the other players, and then they had a scene later on where they gotta go do something and try and steal a sleeping bag from a group of guards. Like that was like their little mini quest, and it was like a cool fun scene that was like real quick paced, just quick rolls here and there. You make a roll, then this happens. You make a roll, then this happens. Like super quick stuff like that. To where I literally think how I ran it off just in this, because you got to also keep in mind there's other players at the table that are literally just sitting there. So you want to make sure it's entertaining and all that kind of stuff. So like they'd say what they did. I'd ask them both for a check. We'd see what happened, and then I'd just roll a d20. And if it was in like bad to good, and just see what kind of complications would occur or not, and just kind of like it was really fun to go real fast through that. So overall, I would say think about the sections of the backstory that you could flush out. Think about the players and like what they would like to do, to see what kind of like things that they would like to play, or what kind of curveballs you'd want to throw at them. I've done, just to list off a couple flashbacks, I've done the moment the warlock makes their pact. You know what I mean? Like you flashback
that's huge.
to that moment, the moment that the ranger of the group is given their bow from their mother, who then goes off, and in their backstory, they write that their mother died in a this, that. So they did not know they were going to meet their mother, and their mother's going to hand them their bow. And everyone at the table knew that they wrote in their backstory that this was like a big tragic thing. And so there was like session 1, tears at the table, because it was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So big picture, think of what's possible, and then try and make sure you hit the emotional spectrum. Because if it's all gloom and doom, and you're flashing back all over the place to all these super tragic moments back to back to back to back, that could be, not fun, or a beatdown, or too funny, or too, so just try and hit the full spectrum would be my 2 cents.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks for swinging by, Dungeon Caller. Later, dude. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, session 0, man. Session 0s. Gotta love them. And let me check out. Okay, hugs. Dolly, we got Bean. Bean sounds so nice that we can give them hugs. Dude, yeah. Bean's a great dude, man. Bean's a great dude. All right, cool. Hit the emotional moments hard. Oh yeah. Just got goosebumps. Oh, Evan. That's what I'm saying, dude. I did too, just talking about that right now. Like, oh yeah, just like flashing back to that moment of just even me. I was role playing the mother. Like, oh, hits you hard. All right, here we go. What else we got? Who's up next? MCDO, welcome to the dungeon. Welcome, Dungeon Caller. Oh, MCDO, are you there, MCDO? Testing, 1, 2, 3. Also, as a side note, whenever y'all join, ask your question, all that kind of stuff. It might help if you just mute yourself once we do get started, so that if any background noise comes up, and then obviously unmute to talk back and stuff. MCDO, what's up? Uh-oh, MCDO. Wait, mic's not working. Oh, your mic isn't working again. MCDO, this happened last time. MCDO, type up your question again. I'm removing you from the audience, but type up your question again, and we'll see if we can get you back in there. I'll answer yours after DM Raven. Oh, oh, there's the Raven noise. Oh, it's a little echo here. Sorry. What's up, DM Raven?
Hey, what's up?
How's it going? What's your icon? Is that a house? Is that a house? Or is that, it looks like it's melting?
No, it's actually a ghast from the game Minecraft.
Ah, okay. No, I see it. I got you. What's up, DM Raven? What's your question?
So I actually have a interesting question about running highly intelligent big bads.
Ooh, okay. Yeah.
So just a little bit of like backstory.
Yeah.
My campaign is set in an equivalent to 1870s London.
Okay, I'm there.
And so the idea is that all of the magic has basically died out and become illegal.
Oh, okay.
So there's this one elf who has become a necromancer in order to start a rebellion to basically free all of the magical races.
Nice. Oh, so are all the magical races enslaved?
No, it's just if the police find out that you are like an elf or a dwarf or anything
okay,
like
yeah.
that, they will basically just kill you right away.
Okay. Gotcha.
So the players have joined with him, obviously, to support freeing themselves, because one of them is a half-elf and the other is actually a vampire sorcerer.
Love it. Wow.
But because he's a necromancer and his alignment is evil, they're not super cool with where it's going, and I'm pretty sure they're planning on turning on him.
Nice.
So, and also like the people they're fighting is a level 20 inquisitive rogue. So basically whoever they decide to join, they're still going against someone who's
extremely powerful.
Intelligent.
Right. Okay. Oh, okay. So you're saying you're basically going whichever side they choose, which first of all, I love that they like almost have to choose who the BBG is kind of what it sounds like. It's either Inquisitive Rogue super smart or Necromancer super smart. So I see what you're going with that. So my only question as far as to wrap my head around it is, you said that they in like elves and dwarves and halflings and stuff, like they're like frowned upon. Couldn't you tell the difference between them just by looking at them, or are people like disguise themselves and stuff?
So most of the races that like Genasi or Tieflings are just extinct now.
Right.
And so the only things dwarves can pass off as just short humans sometimes.
Right. I see that.
And then elves usually wear like hats or keep their hair long to cover their ears.
Okay, gotcha. Or even you could even like get surgery of some fashion to like try and okay. So basically the magical races that are borderline human that could pass as that get some sort of modifications or hidden stuff to hide the fact that they're that, to look human. And I totally see it. Yeah, that's awesome. Which that oh man, I just started diving into this that world setup. So awesome, cool. All right, so what it's like for an highly intelligent bad guy. So I mean, in general, without anything more specific than what you've given, I would say that like keep in mind what you know about the players, because there's so many times as dungeon masters that we know how we could screw over our players or what would be their weaknesses or what would be whatever, but then it would be like meta or whatever to like like act on that information, right? So I would give each of them some. Have they interacted with the rogue character?
Yes, actually, she is one of the players. She's one of the players' mother.
Oh,
And
dang.
yes, so it's this really interesting dynamic because the player
Okay.
hates her mother because
Yeah. No, I see it.
Basically killing off everyone who is like her.
Right. Okay, so there's the big picture, and so I'll hit you with something, and then, oh my gosh, we're already back. Okay, cool. I'm gonna hit you with something. All right. So I would give, especially how you've set up this really cool, props to you, double BBEG branching options thing. I would like have different things that you could really screw them over with each one. Like the mother is the inquisitive rogue, right? So then have things that revolve around that character that you know their weaknesses, or there's something in their past that they, I don't know, this is the part where I don't know, but have some sort of things that like hold it over against them, or they know where they can go get their stuff from, or they know where their house is, or they, all that kind of stuff. And for the necromancer, they should be able to know, especially if they've been working with them, like what kind of things are they weak or vulnerable to, or maybe the necromancer starts to do like send them on quests that give them things that could use against them, to where they're cursed and they need the necromancer to not have them be cursed, or help them with the curse or something. So give some sort of it almost to the point where it would be almost like a, you know, those video games that give you your story branching options, and there's like so many different ending scenarios based on how you played the game. Like have pros and cons for both of the BBEGs of like, if you side with them, then you'll have all these cool things, but if they'll have, the BBEG will have all these bad things that you have to overcome. And that'd be really cool to have, like, maybe they're cursed, and if they choose to side with the necromancer can like remove their curse, but if they side with the rogue, now the curse can be used against them. Stuff like that. I would try to give some sort of really deep pros and cons to these really two dynamic BBEG branches you set up. So that's really cool. Super cool. But yeah, there's my 2 cents for that. And we're going to go on to the next one. Thanks, DM.
Yeah, thanks.
Cool. Now we're going to go on to, I'll go for, let me make sure I'm checking over here on YouTube. Okay. The Nightbot still just chiming away random stuff. I didn't even do anything with Nightbot. That's really funny. And the Nightbot's saying to join Discord. So there you go. And it knows about Kickstarter. That's really crazy. Oh, it's DJ. It's DJ with the, who said it's DJ. It's DJ in the hand raising thing? It's DJ? I don't see an it's DJ. I just see a $1 super chat. DJ? I don't see a DJ. So I'm going to the next caller, or sorry, the next dungeon caller. Oh, wait. Dungeon chat. Let me check it. We just hit 80K. Guys. What's up? During the during the Discord thing, we just hit 80K. Let's go. New stretch goal. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, MCDO, here's the question. Just so it's easy to see. I'm hoping to start DMing a D&D campaign at some point, but after some online campaigns going horribly wrong, I'm pretty nervous about starting something new, even with some friends who've been playing for a while. Any suggestions on how to get over those nerves? Oh man, like I would just say, like, and I'm having flashbacks to coaching stuff here, is if you're nervous, it means something to you. Like if you're nervous about something, you're excited. It's important. You know what I mean? If you didn't give a crap at all, you wouldn't be nervous. You know what I'm saying? It's because it's like that. You take a deep breath, maybe 3 deep breaths if you need it. Just like this, and this sounds like, you know, energy Zen stuff, but like channel all that in there and then use that as like fuel to the DM fire and just go with it. You know what I mean? So I'm not trying to say to just like, hey, just do it, you know, because that's super basic. But like, it's good that you're nervous, and it's good like that means you're excited. You know, it's something to be hyped up about. So heck yeah. But I would say if you want to ease some nerves, talk to each player individually, you know, kind of get an idea of some stuff going on. Maybe, you know, call each one of them or something, or text each one of them and have kind of like, you know, get this, see where they're at and everything. And then as people get there, kind of just start talking about it, and then just dive into it, you know, just try and, you know, talk about it enough, so because I don't know the dynamic with your group, because I'm about to start a campaign in a few days, and I'm just like, we have a group chat going and all that kind of stuff, so it's exciting stuff. So but am I nervous for session 1? I mean, it's hard to say if I'm nervous. I'm just excited, you know what I mean? But I think that there's a gray area there between the two of those things. So just prepare and dive into it, dude. Dive into it. All right, cool. Next thing. It's open. Wait, what are we asking about in general? Congratulations. Coach, break those big Kickstarter DCs. Yes, that's funny. Okay, cool. Congrats. Thanks, guys. 80K. That's so crazy. Destiny already talked about like our true goal, that if I had to set a goal that wasn't like strategic, and like the true goal would be 50K, and we hit that, and now it's just cool. Like that's the inspiration system is 80K. So that's really cool. I'll post all the updates and stuff after this, because I want to make sure we're in here. All right, cool. Back to the questions. Algo fam, welcome Dungeon Caller. Algo fam. There we go. What's up? What's your question?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Oh, excellent. So I am just started a campaign recently. We're on session 3.
Okay.
It's Norse theme, but we're also using your point by feat system, which I absolutely love.
Awesome.
And for one of my players, she doesn't have a whole lot of backstory. And normally that's not really a huge deal, but because we have a very small number of players, there's only 3, I want to be able to work everyone's backstories in.
Right.
And to give a bit more context, she's very intelligent. Like she's a senior majoring in like software engineering.
Like in real life, she's intelligent.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
So my question for you is, do you have any suggestions for people who have a hard time coming up with backstory and or getting into role playing?
Oh, for sure. Gotcha. Okay, so one thing is that I'm going to transition segue into on the DMs Guild right now, limited time for a little bit. It's a free build a backstory PDF that is literally what you could give this person, right? I don't know if you know if it would work for this kind of person, so I'm also going to say something after this. But what I would do, I've done this for high school kids that don't really care about backstory. I've done this for adults that I know don't care about backstory, and I just give them this thing. They don't have to fill it out. I think that's the key right there. There's my teacher background showing through, is you don't have to answer every question. Pick 3 of these things to answer, right? And there's like 20 or so different things, right? And they can just go through about like who's someone you knew from when you're growing up and what they do. Just a person. That's literally it. Oh, I had a best friend and they were a baker. Done. You know what I mean? So it's like super low stakes. You can, whatever speaks to you, fill it out, and then they can give it to you. That's one option. Or another thing that I've done this for players being introduced mid-campaign. I've done this for characters, re-rolled characters, and people who don't have backstories, to tie them into the thing, whether they came in late or they just aren't giving you much backstory. I have flushed out the world enough, that's needed, not overdoing it and drowning myself with world building lore homework, but know enough of your world and the different things that are kind of moving around it, and some of the things that other characters' backstories possibly, and have a bunch of options. And I present it to the player like a buffet table. I'm like, all right, cool. From the far to the, I'll do an example for my most recent campaign. Far to the west, there is a civilization that was like, it was attacked by this like demon, like a incursion from the abyss, and then they got wiped out, and now it's nothing but frozen wastelands over there. How cool does that sound to you? There's also a thing off to the south where there's this like town of gold, and it deals with like there's devils and gold, and the whole thing deals with devils and gold, and that's it. And then I go to the next one up north. There's like this like, place where time's a little weird, and like things age differently, and things work differently. And there's like this mysterious cave that people have never been able to find, but there's that, and like that's all I do. is I just give literally what I just did, said to you. I just say that to them, and what thing speaks to them, I'll like, okay, well, I like the place that's like the frozen place that got destroyed. Okay, well, there's a tribe there, and they have these, and like, I just start, and I go to the same thing, and I'm like, there's a tribe, there's a this, there's a that, there's a, I just like what types of things sound cool so that they can like stake their flag on, and you are creating a bunch of stuff, and all they get to have to do is choose. Now, that puts a lot of work on you, but if you know your world and like you have a good pulse check on your world as a dungeon master as far as the important pieces, then you can do that. And I did the same thing in that campaign with a player that had to re-roll a campaign or re-roll a character because their character died. And I did the same thing about like, oh, do you want to be a demon hunter from these people that are hunting demons, or do you want to be a whatever. So options, like a little buffet table, is another thing I've done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's my two, one is a little bit more homework and maybe for the more intelligent side of things. And the other one is, and I wouldn't necessarily say intelligence, it just depends on if they want to, be more independent with it or not, or piggyback off of your decision. So there you go.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Thanks, Agua Fam. Cool. See, it's so, I really do like having the questions be literally from you guys. You know what I'm saying? I am a math teacher. Teacher, coach. Okay. What kind of teacher is the coach? Math teacher, algebraic reasoning / algebra 2. Algebraic reasoning is a fancy way to say algebra 1.5 for people that struggle with math between algebra 1 and algebra 2. Boom. All right, so I see that. I see that from the chat. All right, did I miss anything? It's DJ. Okay, cool. Next question. Oh, Mabel. Mabel. How do you say it?
Hey, howdy, hey.
Hey, howdy, hey. How do you say your first part of your name?
It's Mabel.
Mabel. There it is. Got it.
Yeah.
I don't have to keep butchering it now.
Yeah. Okay, so I've got an interesting question for you.
Let's hear it.
As you know, I don't know if anybody else knows, but as you know, I'm a RPG developer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nice.
And so for my current system I'm working on, I've got this really weird thing going on with my classes, and I wanted to get your opinions and takes on it and see if you had any input. Is that all right?
Yeah, give me the overview.
Alrighty. So rather than whenever you level up in my game, rather than gaining new abilities, all your stuff just gets better, and you upgrade your stats and basic stuff like that, because the entire idea of the class is far more narrative. Back up, princess. Sorry, the cats.
The cat wants to talk too.
You need to get down. Sorry. So the entire concept of the class, or classes rather, are far more narrative, because you have basically two abilities. You have a mechanical one that's just like a short little blurb, and then you have a second one that's like a paragraph of flavor text that you have to get meaning from.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
And basically use in a more creative way. Do you mind if I just quickly read my sorcerer class to you?
Yeah, give me one. Yeah, I was gonna say, give me one class so that I have a little example of what you're talking about.
Rad. Okay, so for your mechanical thing called a class talent, for sorcerer, you can use intellect to cast spells, attack, or defend. Boom, done. Class description, which is the paragraph thing. As a sorcerer, you are able to cast spells in order to conjure elements, create complex illusions, summon forth minions to do your bidding, transform living creatures or inanimate objects into other things, or even bend others to your will. You are also generally knowledgeable about the secrets of arcane subjects, such as astrology or demonology. And if you don't know or cannot recall a piece of magical or scientific fact, you often know where you can go and find it. It is possible your magic could go awry, cursing you with a terrible affliction such as rotting flesh, a magical disease, or horrible visions. And
Nice.
that sorcerer.
Interesting. So I was like piecing together the big picture of what the sorcerer is, because it's definitely different from the D&D sorcerer. Instantly
Yes.
said that because you know about lore, and they sound like a smarter version, more wizardy like.
Yeah,
Um,
I just call it a
oh
sorcerer
right,
because I
yeah,
prefer the name
exactly,
over
yeah,
wizard, but it's the D&D wizard
right.
essentially.
And it sounds like you have multiple of the schools of magic, because there's like the enchantment thing taking over their minds. There's transmutation of shifting things around. There's all this, obviously the magic and evocation. But I do like the little extra little twist at the end of the instability part of that too. So that's really
Yeah.
interesting. So when this class levels up, but you said they don't level up, right?
They do level up, but they don't get new
Gotcha.
things.
Okay, that's the
Their
thing.
old
Okay.
stuff just gets more likely to happen in their favor.
Ah, okay. So whenever they start making these types of roles for these types of categories, it has a better chance of going their way.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, so now, what was your overall question? Now that now that I see your, now that I understand your system here.
Now, for a OSE game,
Mm-hmm.
this, even for OSE games, which are a little weird compared to the stuff we have now, this is a little out there. And so I was thinking that this would be perfectly fine and balanced, but a lot of my developer friends have been like, no, man, that's a horrible idea. Your player's gonna abuse that. And I'm like, I'm the DM. I can tell them no.
Right.
And so I was wanting to get your input if you had any ideas as to um kind of what direction to go, or if you see any glaring issue.
With that as the
Because
way that things go, as far as like when they level
yeah,
up, that's all that happens. If that's like a big problem.
yeah.
Okay. So,
Um,
oh wait, was there something else?
that in the class description being unbalanced for whatever that means.
No, yeah, okay. The first thing, so okay, I can now respond. I am loaded up. So on the first thing, as far as balance goes, no, that's not a problem at all. Like, my analogy is going to come from Cogent. I did a whole bunch of stuff with Cogent for a while, and they have like the system, the magic system that I was developing for Cogent. Like, it's literally like, what can you do? I can cast fire stuff, and that's literally all you needed to know. That's all you needed to say, right? So and Cogent didn't have a level system either. But you had opportunities, and this was something that I was working there too. You had opportunities to increase the amount of dice you can add to stuff, which is basically your modifiers, which is what you're saying. You actually don't get the ability to cast anything else new. You just have higher chances of being successful at those things, right? So as long as your system has some sort of method, or you as the dungeon master, this is the type of stuff that I never dove into with Cogent, because it's very specific and it's highly skilled, because you have to be a very skilled dungeon master to run it like this. But I love the flexibility of it, to where whenever I'd run Cogent games, and if the person that was like an earthbender type of thing, so Avatar, one of them was that, and they described something they would do with like whatever earth things that they were doing, I would have like a DC that was set for it, and they'd have to roll in whatever, just like whatever system, any system works like that, right? And then they'd have to hit this certain bar that I'd set, and then as they level up, they just get more dice, or they get higher modifiers, and they could accomplish bigger and better things. So I see no problem with that, as far as like, what new things do I get? Oh, now I can cast Mask of Many Faces and disguise myself as when I level up, I can, you have a broader, open, creative magic system where people can do this huge list of stuff that you just listed off, right? So you're starting off the game with no restrictions, right? So that's the trade-off, is you either super restrict people and then reward them incrementally with cool new things, or you start it off, hey, you can try anything. You're probably not going to be able to completely dominate somebody to make them bend to your will immediately every time, but over time, as you level up in your class, you're going to be able to do that better and hit the same DC I told you the last time better. Or as the dungeon master, they're higher level, you say a lower DC, because that would make sense too. So I think it's a lot more ambiguous and open, but with a skilled dungeon master that's fair and is able to kind of hit that spot, you're going to let the players open creativity, be able to do whatever they want. And if your entire class is basically flavor text, that's so empowering to your players to be able to do stuff. So I'm on board.
Awesome. So yeah, essentially the difference between a first level and 16th level sorcerer is first level, I can cast fire. 16th level, I can cast fire, but way bigger.
Right. You're gonna probably be able to just like area of effect versus the yeah, for sure, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for answering my question. Before I leave, I'd like to say so freaking hyped for the Kickstarter, man. Gold Dragon tier over here.
Oh, and I know the Dice Dragon. I was about to comment on the Dice Dragon situation. They're making the dice right now. As soon as I get that, I'll ping you in Discord or whatever. So the collection as your icon showing a dragon hoarding gold looking dice.
I've got a giant chest right next to me right now, just absolutely crammed full of dice.
You are literally a gold dragon, sir.
Oh yes I am.
But I really appreciate it.
So excited, man. Thank you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Oh, it's so cool to see people get so excited for this Kickstarter. You know what I mean? Like, just to see other people be genuinely hyped up like that. That's awesome. That's so awesome. Okay. Next caller. Here we go. Stoneheart. I'm turning on my air conditioning. Stoneheart, dungeon caller, welcome. Mr. King Awesome, I see you in the chat. Happy birthday! I think I saw you. It was your birthday. But I got a list of people. I don't just pick people randomly. Stoneheart, what's up?
Hi. I expected to wait a little longer. Hi.
Hey.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. No, you're good.
Okay. Sweet. Too many questions, so I'll just ask one that's immediately relevant.
Yeah.
How do you run random encounters? I pulled something from a video I watched from the Dungeon Dudes, where it's like instead of survival checks or whatever, everybody rolls like a D6 or a D8 or you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I've seen that video.
Yeah. So that's what I currently use. I was just curious as to what you use.
So here we go. Perfect segue to the Kickstarter. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But on that note, I do have one video out on this. I'm going to make another video about exploration, or sorry, I guess, yeah, it's the exploration pillar, random encounters, later this week as well. So here's a little sneak peek of that. How I do random encounters is there's lots of different ways to tweak it, but here's the baseline. Whenever I check for a random encounter, I'm like, all right, here we go. Everybody give me an encounter check, right? So I call it an encounter check. I don't know. You can change it to whatever you want, but everybody around the table has a D12, right? So everyone has every kind of dice, but everybody around the table gets a D12, yeah. And then I have a D12. Everybody around the table rolls the D12, and they each get a certain number. As I, behind the table, with my D12, behind the screen, roll my D12. And I see what my number is. Let's say it's 6, okay? So I roll the 6, and then they have no idea what I rolled. That part's huge. And around the table, I ask them what all they got or whatever, and they say ... and I go, okay. And then I describe something. Whether or not I'm describing something that actually happened, or one of them rolled a 6, because if they match me, an encounter happens, right? So there's a % chance to have it happen. And if you there's a 1 in 12 chance of us matching, because whatever my number comes out, it's going to be a 6. So each of them has a 1 in 12 chance of happening, and then there's a bunch of math you can do. I think don't quote me on this, but I think it gives around a 20 to 30% chance for an encounter, which is a pretty sweet spot. I like that.
You're the algebra teacher. You'd know better than me.
I did the math in the video when I did the video. I did the math in that, and I ran it by some other people, because math gets weird when you start to do some stuff there, or complicated or whatever. But let's just say it's a 30% chance. to have an encounter happen, to have somebody match your number. Now, the other part of that that's pretty cool is if you are in a more dangerous scenario, you're in a higher risky mountainous area that has known bandits or whatever, instead of, and when I say make an encounter check, I'll be like, but with a D6, ooh, or with a D10, or with a D4, or with a D8, or whatever. And you can change the threat level of the area by changing the dice, right? So then if I'm rolling let's just say it's a D4. If I'm rolling a D4, you know, like, and there's 4 other people rolling a D4 and to see if they match me, like, it's a pretty high chance that you're going to get an encounter right there. Technically, it's 100% chance because 4 times. I'm just kidding. That's not how the math works. That's just but that is the basics of the system. You can change the dice to be a D12 all the way down to a D4 to increase or decrease the chances, and you can also have them make like a group check or maybe a skill challenge or something. And if the rogue is sneaking through a certain area, maybe you don't make the rogue because they had some sort of skill check, or they don't even need to make a check to roll the D12 because they're super stealthy or whatever, or it's a ranger and they're in their favorite terrain, so they don't have to roll a D12, which lowers those chances of you having an encounter again. Maybe the paladin in the big clanky armor, they have to roll 2 D12s, and then it increases the chances. So that's kind of the little mini game there, that you have a lot of different things to kind of play around with, that I really like as far as the system that I use for encounters, or I have used before. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like the sounds of that, because it also gives you the ability to sort of like, hey, I want, this is a random encounter, but maybe I want a friendly encounter.
Right.
So,
right.
You know, if I want to choose the silver dragon encounter with the wyverns, I can.
Yep. And there's been times before too, if I like want to do a forced encounter, I really want an encounter, or like just, you know, like they need an encounter or something. I've even done something to where I'll pick one of the players. Like I'll just, in my head, I'll pick one and they roll a number and it's a 12, and that'll be the encounter table. And also as a side note, all of my encounter tables that I use are D12 tables. All of them, because it matches perfectly into the system I just described, right? So I'm like, all right, cool, Steve, and they all say their numbers, but Steve rolled a 3, and a 3 is, you know what I'm saying? So I've done that before too. So there's lots of different little spins you can do on it as well. So hope that helps.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Stoneheart. We got a super chat from HC Magic. What's up, HC Magic? What's up, HC Magic? See, it's so cool to see people like, you know, because like come on back through. I'm happy to see your channel take off, bro. Hey, seriously, that's what I was just saying. HC Magic, you've been around here for a long time. Like when I first started streaming, I think you had to have been at the first stream that I did ever. So it had been gone a while. I was here and using the phone as a camera. Exactly what I was just saying, dude. HC Magic, are you in Discord? Because I can bring you as a caller, or no, HC Magic's not even in here on Discord. Just a flyby super chat. What a great dude. Appreciate you, man. It really has been taken off in lots of ways as far as time and all the craziness involved there too. So heck yeah. Whew, all right, next caller. We got the dungeon lawyer Nate. Get out of here. Platinum Dragon in the house. Welcome. What's up, man?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Cool. Hey, first time caller, long time listener. And you know what this kind of reminds me of? It's like a Sunday night and you're just calling into a radio show. Does this remind you of Nightline? Is it Night? No, what's that called? You know, Adam and Dr. Drew? Loveline.
Loveline. I don't feel like it's Loveline. No, I don't. But maybe with you here now, it feels more like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's try and keep it PG. I think this is
That's true.
Family friendly.
You're right. You're right.
Family friendly show, right?
You're right.
So I'm super hyped for your Kickstarter. I'm really excited for you. I know it's something that you've been working on for a long time. So I have some ideas of how I'm going to integrate some of the things that you're advocating for into like my 5e hack game.
Yep.
But what sort of advice do you have for some of your backers on Kickstarter?
Yeah.
Is there would you just take like the 5e player's handbook and the Dungeon Master's Handbook and just piecemeal, like take out the rules that you don't like, replace it with something from the Kickstarter, or
Gotcha.
like maybe get like the free like starter guide or whatever it's called, and then just kind of graft your rules
I see
on
what
it.
you're
Like,
saying. I
I'd
see
love
what
to
you're
hear some
saying.
of your suggestions for your backers.
Like tips for backers on how to do. That's a really good idea how to use it. You know, that might, like, I almost want to make a video on that for just the purpose of the backers, to say thank you for this whole big, huge, crazy thing that's happened, of just like to answer this question. So honestly, I am going to write that down. I could possibly do that. No, I don't want to do this a rant. I don't want to do a rant. I'm going to say backer QA. Okay. So what a great question. What a great question. The how I would handle it is, what I thought you were about to say is, do you just take the player's handbook and Dungeon Master's Guide and throw them out the no? But you didn't say that. So what I would,
you have to start with something. Right?
Exactly. Yeah,
There's a
exactly.
frame there. Yeah.
And I would say, like, if I could try and put, somebody asked me this question, one of the Kickstarter sent me a message in the little backer email thing, and they said, like, how much, like, would you, and they asked kind of this question about, like, how many of these rules do you use? And I get that one of my most popular, like, not hater question or hater comments, but like, do you even like 5th edition? You changed it so much. Why are you even playing 5th edition? You don't even like 5th edition. No. And I'm like, no. I love 5th edition. I'm just giving out as many options as possible, because I don't know you. I don't know what you need. You, like, I made a video on Counterspell. Maybe you love Counterspell rules as written. Cool, great. I don't necessarily, but I don't make videos for me. I make videos for you guys. So anyway, to answer your question before I get too hyped up and passionate, I would take the, like, assuming you've played, I'm assuming that you have played Dungeons and Dragons at least in some capacity, right? And your group, talk to your group. Like, I would love at the table for you to be like, hey guys, I got Alkandar's Almanac. Here's the thing. Let's have a conversation, you know, like that. I really hope that happens, just in the same way, just like to have a conversation, to everyone get on the same page of, like, what parts of the game are we kind of like wanting to kind of spice up? Travel? Are we wanting to spice up combat in some ways? Are we want to spice up how magic works? Or want to like, what kind of things do you feel like is lacking in the rules as written, or those moments that are kind of like miss for you? And those would be the moments that I would patch in there. So I would say, run your game how you're running it. Run it 90% rules as written. But that 10% is what I want Alkandar's Almanac to be that band-aid for, to sweep in and, like, patch up, custom fit to whatever it is that you want a puzzle piece in there, to the missing 10% gap of what you thought from the game. Whether it's a character creation, which I guess I have other stuff outside of the Kickstarter for that. Although, sneak peek side note, Kickstarter number 2 is going to be a character creation whole situation, but that's a down the road thing there. But to answer your question, that would be the thing I would do, is take the parts of the game that you're like about, or you wish, or you want to try out something new, or even, this just popped into my head, maybe you get Alkandar's Almanac and the book comes in, or you're just scrolling through the PDF, whatever, and you get to a spot, you're like, ooh, that's really cool. I never thought about that being something cool that we could do. Inspiration, we don't even use inspiration. Like, we just unlocked 80k, hype. We just unlocked the inspiration stretch goal. Most tables, from my research, don't use inspiration. So they could totally, like, take that, look at them, like, oh my gosh, we don't even do this. Let's do this. And it's like the easy version of it, and then just implement it at the table, see what it likes, and then take it out if you don't like it. So there's my spiel on that.
Cool. I was kind of hoping I could get you to say, like, 5 Torches Deep or 5e Hardcore Mode or something.
Of course you did. Of course.
Yeah.
Those are future videos, man. Trust me. You have given me, Nate here, for everybody that doesn't know, he's been a Platinum Dragon for a long time. Props, but he shows me all of these cool videos about all these really either old school or, like, gritty 5 Torches Deep type of stuff. And what he's saying there has some really cool stuff in there. So stay tuned for some stuff on that. Thanks to Nate here.
Oh no, you're very welcome. So I'm glad I can contribute. But just a little bit something to give back is, I think, just aside from the Kickstarter, just from the free to watch videos on YouTube,
Right.
You've given so many like dungeon masters and players so much. So I thought it'd be just, you know, a little thing and give back to you.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. That really does mean a lot. That's what I've been trying to do for a long time now. So I appreciate it.
So would you say when it comes to being a DM, are you more of a Dr. Drew or an Adam Carolla? What would you consider yourself?
What? I don't even know either of those references.
What?
I
You
can't.
don't remember Loveline?
No.
Oh gosh, now I feel really old. Jeez.
I'm 33, so I don't nope. Mm-mm.
All right, I feel old now. I'm gonna hang up.
Okay, later, man.
All right, good night.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, we got a super chat from David Mosley. Thank you, David. $10 super chat. Question: how do you handle some players who are optimized in an otherwise unoptimized party? Interesting. Is OP characters or subclasses an issue in the games you run or play in? So let me read that first part again. How do you handle some players who are optimized in an otherwise unoptimized part? Oh, I see what you're saying. David Mosley, are you in the chat right here? No, David Mosley's not. Okay, cool. So, you guys heard the question. Is those times in your group where the group is not optimized, right? And then you got one player who is highly optimized, right? Is this an issue? All that kind of stuff. Okay. So, I would say, I've never had this be a problem, right? I have had, that player. I have, oh, you're V Bunny? You're V Bunny? There's V Bunny. Come on, welcome to the chat, V Bunny. What's up, dude? You got that big old smiley face, putting a smile on my face. Look at that emoji right there. That's funny. So okay, I've never had this be a problem because I heavily endorse players playing the game that they want, right? And being very open about that at the table and talking about it, like what they like, what they don't like, so everyone knows, you know. Because if one player really loves to role play and they never voice that, and I know that from having private conversations with them, but then everyone else at the table, it doesn't, and then they're like, so they're not going to have any empathy or care, and they're going to be like, oh, why can't we just, oh, let's hurry up and do that. But if they know, because they all talk with each other, because they're all players together. I love when we do those role play things. Next role play thing we do, they're going to understand, like, okay, let's go ahead and just, you know, get through this role play crap, and just in the same way that when you're doing heavy combat, that person's probably not as engaged with that, or, you know, the mix of everything. So as far as overly optimized, I just scale up some of the other players if necessary with bonus level up perks. So for highly optimized players, I don't give them a lot of highly optimizable bonus level up perks, because then they could just absolutely destroy the game. Whereas other players, I might give them more cool things or things that will help them shine, where if I gave that thing to the heavily optimized player, it would be broken. Or tell me if this makes sense. If I were to switch characters, like, and I let this player who's like super min-maxer, knows the game inside and out, if they were to play that person's character, they'd break the game with it, because it'd be so overpoweredly strong, because they know all the best moves. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what that's. I have an issue with a a couple players that want to be more social and into that whole role playing thing,
right?
And then I have players that just don't want to interact with anybody, and everybody doesn't know how to interact with each other, and I'm having that issue right now.
Yep. And that's kind of what I've done. Okay, I'm not trying to keep bringing up Alcanar's Almanac, but the whole thing, and this is why I'm making this resource for me to be able to say, like, hey, literally chapter 3, hit this thing, bang, done, is to have rules weave into the game that inspire role play, to give the players little sprinkles of role play, so that they can, you know, scratch that itch and everything. Because you're going to have combat. You're just going to have combat. So those people are going to be fine. But the people that want to role play and want to engage with people, you just got to sprinkle that in a little bit. So maybe have them engage with each other, you know, so that they can role play with each other and see how that goes. And let your min-max optimizers role play with the role play people.
I've tried fight that, and what happens is they don't want to talk to each other.
Yeah. So now, okay. The number one thing that I like to do is on night watches. I have them. I ask them the question, "What do y'all talk about?" And I always ask it, and I always am saying, "What do y'all talk about?" Have you ever put them on the spot like that, to where you like straight up like they're in a scenario where they're like, "What do you guys talk about?"
Yeah, and then they say, "Oh, I don't talk to about anything. I just make my sword sharper."
I make my sword sharper. Okay, here we go. I feel like you are giving me scenarios that your players do, and I'm instantly shifting into daddy DM mode and wanting to, you know, bring the hammer down on some stuff. So here's something that I've done in this situation, because, and let me say this too, you don't want to punish players in real life, or in, you know, not obviously not in real life, but you don't want to like get too meta with it to where like they're not playing the game a certain way and then you have to like slap them on the wrist or play it your way, because it's not about that. It's about opening them up to the whole expanse that is Dungeons and Dragons, because it sounds like these people are playing a hack and slash, you know, strategy combat simulation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes,
It sounds like it. So here's what I've done is I do this to show, and I've done this to players. I have done this to players who are like that, and after I've opened them up in some ways like this, they're like they get it more. It's actually a role play game. There's more to it. So here's what I'm saying. One time I introduced an NPC to the party, right? They were this kind of weird NPC, little bit of magic to them, but just kind of odd and goofy. You know, your Jar Jar Binks type situation, if you know what that is, right? I just introduced them as the person they found along their way, and they needed to bring them along. So they needed to be there for a little bit. I didn't have them be powerfully magic or show that they were powerfully magic in any way. And they just were this weird, goofy person. I would love role playing this thing because I would interact and engage with all of them. I would force myself on each and every one of them, like role play wise, right? And like find weird, quirky things that I liked. And this is also me working with my DM knowledge of like what the characters were all about, or what they liked, or what they didn't like, or whatever. And I'd be like, "Why do you always sharpen your sword? Why are you always sharpening your sword? Sword sharp enough? Is your sword sharp? How sharp is your sword? Can you show me how sharp it is?" You know, like whatever you want to do to kind of like shake them up and engage with them. And then at the very end of this little arc and everything, I gave boons to each of the players based on their relationship with that character, right? So one of the players got speak with the dead, and they were able to now straight up speak with the dead, and they could do it once, they could cast it once per long rest. Like now they could just straight up do that, you know? And they had this like they could hear the spirit and all this kind of stuff that I gave. I had a bunch of different cool boons that this person had, and I just, depending on their relationship, gave it to them. And one player never talked to this person once, not once ever, and they got nothing. So that was, I didn't feel too bad about it. And they're like, "Man, I really," they're like, what do I get?" I'm like, "I don't even know you. I tried to ask you questions you didn't do." And I like listed off in character like all the things. "You don't care about me. Why would I care about you?" And then like they're done, right? So you can introduce things like that to try and show them that engaging with the world is a good thing.
Okay, that's a good help. Thank you so much.
Cool, man. Thanks, B-Bunny.
No problem.
Oh, we got another super chat. "Love the show. Love the energy you show every time, or every video. Ixalane. Thank you for the $5 super chat. "My favorite thing about hearing Homebrew is even if I don't use it, it'll inspire something else." Exactly. That's the whole idea. Like whenever I make Homebrew videos, I don't care if you use my Homebrew. I only care that you're excited about something you hear and you implement something into your game that makes it better. That's all I care about. If it's my thing, cool. That's great. If it's something that sparks creativity in you, honestly, that's almost even better. You know your game table better than I do. That's the whole point. So I love that. I got hyped up from that comment. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Next question. Oh, here we go. We got Bronze Dragon Phoenixu. Welcome to the dungeon. Welcome, Dungeon Caller. Phoenixu, yeah. Oh, how do you say your name?
Hello, hello.
Hello.
It's Fenakusu, but you
There we
can call
go.
me Gage.
There you go. What's up, Gage?
Not much. Hanging out. Got a new. Things are great.
Nice. What's your question?
My question is a bit of a world building question.
Ooh.
I've been working on a new setting, trying to get a game going. And in my world, for a bit of background, there's these like fonts of power that are just called fonts. They're these elementally magic things, basically, because they come in a lot of different forms. But generally, what'll happen is like if there's like a big one, a city will build around it and sort of use it as a power source.
Right.
If you were, I guess my question is how do you treat like having a fantasy source of power in a way that's like, because I don't want to have this like, and suddenly, despite it being the year 1500, we've catapulted into the future. I still want to have that fantasy vibe.
Right.
So how do you handle like having a power source that can be used by people and is used the world over,
right,
without it like breaking things? Or
I see what you're saying. So my first and most important question is, what era are you saying your game? Are you full medieval, or are you like, you said 1500s? So that's a different.
Yeah, that was just an example.
Okay, so
I've been talking with Chimera about maybe. Chimera's been helping me do a lot of the world building, so shout out to him. I've been kind of crowdsourcing my world building in the Patreon chat.
I saw that.
Shooting for sort of like maybe a like a Renaissance era type of world, like high fantasy Renaissance, like where like elemental magic and magic is like very prevalent, and like the elements mean something, because I love like elements and like primal forces.
Right. So would there be guns and stuff? I'm trying to get a good sense. Renaissance? No. Okay.
No firearms.
Okay, so you're just like okay, gotcha. Okay, so now magical power sources, right? So the first thing that pops into my head as far as these things is drawbacks and regulations, right? So if there's all this great source of magic, and you can use it to fuel, force fields for the cities. You can lift things with it. It can, everything becomes lighter. The gravity's less, and you can move things and build things so much easier, because lifting heavy objects is whatever types of cool things it has. There could be some drawbacks. And now again, I'm just gonna homebrew rant, and you're gonna see, everyone here is gonna see into my head a little bit as I just go into just weird ADD mode of just thoughts, right? So you can grab what you like and throw it out what you don't. But some drawbacks to something, however cool and powerful the magic is, and all the stuff you're worried about it breaking the game with, have some drawbacks. So maybe if you're exposed to this, or you use it too much, then it can hurt you, or poison you, or mutate your body in some sorts of way. So you either have to be extremely trained at harnessing it, right, or have some sort of magical devices and stuff. You can think about like grand wizards and archmages and stuff like that. They have to be able to control it, or you have to have certain magic items that only certain people have to be able to tap into it at all, right? And that's another thing. You could gate it. You could that's kind of the other thing I said about restrictions and detriments. So for the restriction side of things, you can have to where maybe there's like not necessarily a black market, but it's like regulated by the government. So wherever this source is, it is contained within the walls of some sort of containment structure that's been built around it, and it's only usable by the council or whatever. And then you can have it to where, yes, it's cool and magical, but it's ran by the government. You can only access it in certain things, but there's certain ways you can tap into it and like hijack the system and tap into the magic and all that kind of stuff. But back to the detriments of maybe some things bad that happen to it, to where it's unstable, and you can add some wild magic stuff in there. I love wild magic. but you can add some sort of like instability to it, to where if it's messed with too much or if it's used too much, you know, because kind of like your concern is having like, oh, it just breaks the game and now there's too much and it's like, you know, flying everything and magic everywhere. You can have it be to where it's dangerous if you push it too much. If you use it too much, then this happens, right? So maybe there have some restrictions in place and it's controlled, and how much magic is there is regulated in some way. And then you have, because if they don't, then bad stuff can happen, right? So, oh, and then one last thought that just came to my head. This is kind of cool. I'm thinking of the big picture now, is maybe if there's this big source of magic in the middle of a city, right? And let's just say it's like an aurora borealis, you know, like an aurora, you know, and it's just this aurora in the sky, and anything underneath the aurora can tap into magic. So like people can just cast thaumaturgy or prestidigitation, and they just have access to magic. And if they can't, but if they do it too much, and if too many people tap into this, then bad stuff starts to happen, or it starts to open up portals with bad creatures coming out, or bad stuff happens. So then everyone as a collective team, as a people, have to not use magic. And then maybe, and now I'm even just extrapolating this in my head, is maybe there's some sort of policing government body or some sort of council of Aasimar, you know, angel Jedi Knight type people that fly around, and like if someone's casting magic, they know it and they can sense it out like a bloodhound, and they go find that person. Did you just cast magic? Because they know, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of stuff you can do, and there's a whole bunch of random vomit of thoughts on the matter. So I hope that helped.
Yeah, no, that has given me some stuff to think about. One of the big drawbacks that I already have is they're not infinite, for sure. So that's a big thing. And if it goes out, that's kind of the collapse of a city.
Right.
Like if a font in a capital city goes out because of overuse.
Yeah.
If they're able to drain it faster than it's recharged, then that city is
screwed. Yeah,
kinda, they're screwed.
Especially if they have like floating walls. It's gone. Yeah.
Yeah, they're also going to have a dragon problem if that happens, because when these things die, they create dragons.
Dude, see, cool, right? And so now you're trying to keep it, you know, and like you said, I was about to ask you a question, but then you answered it with what you said about it being used faster than it's recharging, right? So then that's the problem. But then now maybe there's a faction in your world that is trying to drain them to bring back dragons. You know, they are trying to forcibly drain cities to resurrect these dragons and cause these dragons in all these cities to like come back. Like, I just got chills, dude. That's so cool.
I need to write that
down. There we go, man. That's awesome. I'm glad I could help.
No problem. Or, sorry, thank you. Yeah, have a good one.
Later, man. I love D&D. It's just so cool. It's just so cool. We just talked about hypothetical energy systems for cities and resurrecting dragons when you use that hypothetical energy too much. Oh, that's so funny. That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, all right, checking back up with the chat. Okay, we're good. The source of the fonts. Okay, cool. All right. Next question. What's up? What we got? Oh, it's 9:39. Holy crap, time flew. We're already an hour in. That's crazy. We got Roxas Ryoma. What's up, Roxas Ryoma? What's your question?
It's Roxas Chill. Holy crap, I'm here again. Holy shit, and hello, Dr. Coach.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. All right, so let's see what we got here. Give me a moment. Okay, so with this in mind, you know, like how like the main reason for D&D, for the relationship, how D&D kind of is like the role play and the friendship aspect.
Yep.
But I kind of find it odd that there was like both like in lots of RPGs, like JRPGs all across the spectrum from freaking Pokemon to Pokemon to Persona Shin Megami Tensei, and like these have a friendship system. Why doesn't D&D? Why not?
Oh my gosh. You know what? Why doesn't it have it, dude? You know, I agree with you so much that there is in fact, let me see. Can I pull it up? Can I pull it up right here? Is it on the YouTube screen now? Yeah, it is. Okay. I have where is it at? Reputation, social reputation system. On my Kickstarter, there is it's the 140K goal. But it's a reputation system, and you could totally use this as a friendship system of exactly what you're saying, of building up relationships with NPCs or in a bigger picture groups and stuff, and having some sort of interaction where through continued interaction or giving them stuff or doing quests for them or talking with them, God forbid, like you can build up a relationship with them. So I totally agree. I'm not familiar with other roleplay systems, but I think that definitely, especially the way you said it, is a missing piece of D&D.
Because like I hear tons of people constantly saying, "Easy, help me." I just find, but just imagine the potential that would happen. There's an actual like stuff that starts with a video game style friendship system. Like for example, Persona is a great example. As you can literally find people's inner demons and help them beat the crap out of their invasive thoughts.
That's cool.
And basically beat this shit out of mental illness.
Yeah, literally fighting their mental demons, literally. Well, that's really cool because I also think that you could do kind of like what you just hit on is not only having like, talking to them, giving them stuff, but like going on quests for people and inspiring dungeon masters to have an NPC that like these NPCs that like the party gravitates towards or they want to engage with, have something they need. Have some sort of thing that the NPC needs. One of the things I always write down for NPCs is what are they afraid of, and what do they need? Like what are their goals? And you could send them a quest to go do something that's a cool side quest, and it builds a friendship all the same time. I love it.
I mean, personally, like it doesn't have to be all like quest. Like
right.
As much as I love it, epic story, it kind of feels artificial. It's just like quest.
Go give me a quest. Yeah.
I just think like because like for example like these Persona, for example, you're also a school student. You need to like study. You need to hang out. You need to eat and not die. So,
downtime stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So like to be so basically the idea of like that or like most RPGs that you actually have to bond with your friends, learn new stuff, start trying new things, and basically your friendships and hanging out with people literally makes you stronger. So in Persona, for example, you can get like. If I'm bounding your party members, you can make them take blows for you, take lethal hits for you. You can make them tankier. You can make them
cool.
You can make them like cure ailments. You can make them just imagine the potential, like just like doing this with party members specifically. I mean, an entire system basically like that.
Well, right.
I highly recommend looking into the social link system for Persona if you want inspiration.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think send me a DM in Discord with the because I'm always interested, especially with social. I think that's the biggest missing pillar of Dungeons and Dragons is the social pillar. It always gets overlooked. So
yeah, because it always seems like it's a macro thing, but micro thing's important. Like just getting your what do you think? What do you think we all speed in a tavern means? Do you think everyone in the tavern wants to fucking kill each other? Oh, they want to go there for a treat
and chit chat and stuff. Yeah, well, I always try to like we even talked about some of the earlier callers, dungeon callers, some of the earlier people about like the social. It's came up multiple times even tonight about different social aspects of the game and talking with people. So I definitely would want to reward downtime talking with people, downtime like leveling up and talking and being able to level up during downtime and see what and like maybe unlock new things because you're like hanging out with one specific person and you get a more friend, you unlock the next level of friendship with them and they teach you something cool, So yeah, I totally see it, and I love the social dive in there. So definitely send me a message on that.
Yeah, and this can even elevate to for like full-on romances.
There you go. That's a whole nother category. So thanks, man. I appreciate the question.
Thank you. Anytime.
Later, man. That's cool. Yeah, romance. That's a whole nother category. You're totally right. Totally right there. All right, cool. We got probably another two. Maybe we'll see how it goes. Next caller is Air Dragon. What's up, Air Dragon?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Sorry, I don't know if I. Awesome.
What's your question, man? What's up?
Okay, so my question actually is, I wanted to implement a trade system instead of just gold for buying magical items and stuff.
Right.
We're dishing out like 500 gold, just straight up.
Right.
Like it was just somewhere.
Yeah.
So I thought we could have 500 gold worth of something.
Right.
That could go to material.
Yeah.
Wow. Mike, I guess my question is, how would you implement a trade system without it being like clunky, I guess?
Yeah, no, I totally. I'm going to quote, I'm pretty sure this is Dale Kingsmill. Have you seen Dale Kingsmill's Electrum video? I think it's her. And I'll see if the chat can confirm with me on this, because I want to make sure I give credit to where credit is due. You know what I'm saying? But I think it is. I think we're delayed. So anyway, here's what I would do. Whether it was from her, this was the inspiration that I took from it and then ran with it in my own direction. But basically, like, magic items can only be bought with Electrum, or with some other currency that you have, or with some type of gems or something like that. You could even go as complicated as this. This just popped in my head, and we're in this spot of just saying everything. So you could take the different schools of magic and have different energy and have different currencies for each one. So like gemstones are evocation, sapphires are abjuration, and like you can, in order to buy magic items or with certain things, it costs certain amounts based on the thing that's in it, because it takes those crystals to be able to, you could get as convoluted or fancy with it as you want. But I would say the most simple way, kind of what you're saying, to not get too excited and derailed, is I would have some sort of currency, whether it be Electrum, since it's just such an underused thing. I don't ever use it in D&D until this type of thing, but have some sort of currency where it costs a certain amount of gold. Sure, there could be a gold value to it, and in general, I always talk in my games in terms of gold. I don't really say in terms of platinum or in terms of silver or whatever. Sure, sometimes things cost silver, and sure, sometimes characters have lots of platinum to just make it seem like they're more rich or something. But I would say if you, in order to get certain magic items, you have to have a certain amount of Electrum to where you can only buy it with that. So now you can almost even kind of regulate magic items in a way, and Electrum becomes almost more valuable than however much gold it would be worth, you know what I mean? Because you need this type of currency to be able to buy magic items. So now there could be like a black market about the whole thing, and that's also some cool stuff in that whole video. I'm gonna have to go find to make sure that was there we go, Monarch's Factory black market video. There we go. Boom. Thank you, Andrew. But yeah, I would straight up go watch that video, because it's a really cool take on what would happen if there was a currency that you had to use magic items for. People would hold on to it. There'd be black markets dealing with it. That'd be super complicated, right? But then the other direction that I took to fully go down that is maybe magic items can only be bought with gems of some kind, because the people that are buying them are using gems to enchant items with, and it's like to keep their business going, right? Or you get a discount if you bring in gems or whatever else. But then that's a whole nother rabbit hole to go down. But yeah, so have you seen the Dale Kingsmill's black market video? And if not, does that sound like something of what you're talking about?
Yes, actually. I believe I did watch that video, and that was what got me on the idea of a trade system or underground. But the gems is actually a really interesting idea, because Resurrection uses diamonds.
Yes,
so
that's what I'm talking. Yeah.
Why didn't other schools of magic or magic items require gems to create them? That actually helps a lot. It makes hordes a lot more valuable if you find a dragon sword just covered in gems.
Yes, like makes sense too, because right. And you could even go like you could get, as like I was saying, it's complicated or not, different. And it could just be, a ruby's the same as a sapphire. It's just a gem, and you have, different sizes and how much they're worth and all that kind of stuff. Because then they could hold a certain amount of magic in them, and then that makes them more valuable. And yeah, so glad I could my ramblings combined with other ramblings helped you out there.
it helped out a ton. This gives me a lot more to think about. I
Cool.
really appreciate it.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
Yep, thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Cool. Hold up. We got some chat, some pings in the chat. What's happening in the chat? I see some. Oh my God. Maybell in the Discord chat. Feast your eyes on my glorious horde. Oh. Whoa. That's so cool. Yeah, buddy. That's cool. And then, oh yeah, backstory. There's the backstory link. There we go. Okay, and then there's the 80K thing. Cool, awesome, yeah. Yes, okay, cool. 100% firm. Great video from her. Yeah, Dale's awesome. If I could have a top 3 of who I would want to do a collaboration with, Dale's on there. I would love to do a video with Dale. Dale Kingsmill, Brendan Lee Mulligan, and I'll leave the other one blank for now. I know, well, obviously, okay, anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. So back to the dungeon chat. Next person, we have a Hammer. It's Hammer time, and this might be the last time. Hammer time.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, man?
Not much. Cool.
What's your question?
I was just wondering, so I find it very useful. I found your last video with
the armor one,
prize minis, yeah, to be very useful to understanding your latest release.
Oh, the Fry Minis one, yeah. Gotcha.
And yeah, so it was just making me think a little bit about how those kinds of chats I think are super useful, and I don't have time to kind of like dig into all the back and forth on Discord, which I'm sure this already happens. But I'm wondering if there's, just throwing this idea out there for you, for like when the almanac comes out, if there would be either you or people within the Discord that were hosting these kinds of things, right? Hosting these kinds of chats where they just talked about how they think they would implement it, or even maybe running like small little one shots or something, testing them out, doing play testing for people. So.
Right. I think that's gonna be. I think one thing to just dive into the thought train that you're having is one thing that I'm gonna do on in all the beta play testing stuff for the Kickstarter. Once it's funded and once everything's there and I can give out the sections of the rules to do play testing with. I would love to hear what little amalgamation that everyone uses, because I can almost guarantee you that everyone's will be different. Like what pieces they get will be different. You know what I mean? And I think what I'm going to do, one of the things I want to do is in the book, I want to number the rules, and I want to have some sort of section where you can have like, here's the rules and what page they're on, obviously, so you can reference it. But then you can almost have like a checkbox that you could almost maybe even print out. Or maybe I'll just have some sort of free downloadable thing that you can just get on my website or something where you have Alcanner's Almanac, here's all the rules, which ones do you use? And then like screenshot that, and like they can post it on their social media and at me or something so I can go check it out. Like, you're making me think of some really cool stuff here to just see what the community uses and in which way they use this thing and what customizable way they do it. And how cool would it be if you posted your thing and you saw somebody else also uses the same exact setup as you do? Like that. That's such a cool idea, man.
Yeah. And I think being a DM could be kind of lonely, right? Like in terms of you're making decisions and you get feedback from players, but having other DMs that are like, yeah, I'm using that too, and that's really cool. That could be awesome. So.
Oh yeah, and like, oh man, you just made me use like I'm like, my mind's blown right now. Or you could even have like, oh man, like I don't like, we can have a section in Discord or something about like, yeah, this is what I'm struggling with right now. Hey, use rule number 132. Like I use that and that solved that problem. And they're like, oh wait, what? This one? Okay, sweet. And it's just like this encyclopedia community sharing of all that type of stuff. So dude, I really love that. And I think that's the cool collaboration idea as well, of if I just have either other content creators or stuff like this where we can, talk like this, to see what everyone does and what cool combinations. Because I've already seen, the last thought I have on this is I've already seen somebody, Purius, one of the people that's in the like he's one of the bigger homebrewers that works with me. Before we started really working as much, he's like, hey, I took your travel system and your rest system and I combined them together. I was like, wait, really? He's like, yeah, I gave roles, like your travel roles, I gave resting roles, and then they all combined. I was like, that's so cool that you just took the two systems that I had and just literally sat them next to each other and blended them in this way that I hadn't thought of before, because I'd used it in some ways for this campaign and some ways for that campaign. So yeah, no, I think that would definitely be create nothing but great ideas. So what a great idea that's going to create more great ideas. Thanks, man.
Yeah, no, thank you, and congrats on the Kickstarter.
Hey,
it's rocking. So.
Thanks, man. Thanks. It's all been a whirlwind of craziness, so I appreciate it. Cool. Maybell has a question, or super chat. 420 super chat. 100% ready to poach stuff from Alkinner's Almanac for my system. Heck yeah. Game developer, of course. That's the coolest. It's so cool to see other people or people from other systems besides D&D 5th edition be able to have this be a thing, because I mean that's the whole thing. There's so many things that are just, you can just change the D20 to D6s and roll a bunch of D6s and change the challenge or the difficulty class to a challenge level or whatever your system uses. So heck yeah, awesome. Boom, done. I'm gonna just jump in the chat now. I'm stopping the call train. I'm jumping back in the chat. If anyone has any final questions about Alkinner's Almanac or anything's happening up the going on recently, I'm about to relaunch my entire Kickstarter, or I'm about to relaunch my entire Patreon and change up a bunch of there. This summer has been the biggest summer of change as far as that goes. But I'm just jumping in the chat, seeing what people got here at the in here. We got a minute left, so my question is mainly on how to add them smoothly, like our Stradfire and plus swords and sorcery. So how to add them smoothly? Oh, you had a question. Me? I'm tired. I tried. Well, Hammer's last question of the night. Then I'm requesting on mixing 20th century tech and standard D&D. Woo! I'm about to do a video on guns. In D&D. That was a thing, so hopefully that'll help you. Dragon, that's a cool looking name, however you did that. Will not stop changing. Keep it the best. Yeah, exactly. We're not going to stop changing. We just keep freaking adapting and growing and evolving. Ooh. Modern World Sleeping City. Like this, good artists create, good artists steal. Most of the systems have just been made from amalgamation of other systems. Maybe, yeah. I mean, that's the cool part about when I was working with Cogent and stuff, when I was working with Jazza, like a lot of the stuff, it was cool to see him make a system because it's inspired from lots of other games that they just combine in a different way. So I totally agree. Brian Warren, James Kickstarter. Is the Almanac only for patrons or will avail for sale? Oh, James Wren, that is the Kickstarter that's launching right now. It's in the description of literally any video I've posted recently. And I think the Nightbot has also been spamming his stuff there too. So there you go. Just joined the server to listen to the call. Welcome, Cab the Duck. Cab the Duck, I love your icon, your logo, your insignia. I love your thing. It's a little duck. It looks like a rubber ducky, but it's like actually colored like a duck. Sweet. Okay. For the YouTube chat, I'm into the YouTube chat. I'm gonna do one of these on the YouTube chat, or I'm gonna roll it, or no, this is a Discord event, so I'm gonna end it like normal. Peace to the YouTube people. I really do want to know if you watch this on YouTube, or if you didn't watch this on YouTube or whatever, leave me a comment in this YouTube video to say how it went, because I don't even know. I don't even know how the interaction was from the YouTube side of things, because I originally had it there and it's super chat. You could jump into the line, and it happened once, and I got somebody in there to be able to kind of, you know, because I appreciate the support, all that kind of stuff. But then jumping in and being able to talk with you guys, I like that integration. I really do like that. I love being able to talk to you guys. I think it'd be really, really cool to have super chatters be able to talk to it like that and be able to just, that was really cool. I don't know. But anyway, peace to YouTube. I'm gonna stay here on Discord for a little bit longer. So if you're on YouTube, you hop over to Discord. So peace, YouTube. End stream. End. Immediately. End.